Faith and family, God and country. The bedrock of our United States of America has been tested in recent years. Could it be that we've forgotten where we came from and what we stand for? Could it be we need to spend more time remembering those before us? The men and women who not only shaped our country but our very lives. For those of us whose faith directs our steps, we know how much God has blessed America. And the country music legends on this series feel the same way. So we decided to get together to celebrate God and country, to share memories and laughter from our faith and our family values, to bless the legacy of those before with stories and songs from Americana and our gospel roots. Hosted by Whisperin' Bill Anderson, this series is sure to lift your spirits and renew your love for those around you and for our great nation. Welcome to Country's Family Reunions. God bless America again.
Running on another Country's Family Reunion. What a good-looking bunch we have got gathered here today for a very special Country's Family Reunion titled God Bless America Again. So many of you folks have written to us and told us how much you love the gospel shows when we do those. Others of you have asked that we do some of the patriotic type music of our great country. So this is the show we want to dedicate to the people that love this kind of music, those of us who love our country, and we're proud and we're not ashamed to stand up and say that we do, and singing the songs of faith and inspiration, the old gospel type songs. Great to have everybody here. And I think what we need to do to start this off is we all need, I started to say give him a standing ovation. We don't need to do that. The newest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, our friend Mr. Bobby Bear. Bobby, congratulations from all of us. Very well deserved and earned. I was not able to go to the actual medallion ceremony, but I have this vision in my mind of Bobby Bear, who is always so energetic and excitable. Don't you know he just jumped up and clicked his heels together and yelled wahoo and ran up and down the aisleways?
I was a happy guy. Happy guy, that's a big deal. Doesn't get any bigger than that.
That's right.
But you are the most unexcitable person I've ever seen. You will never die of high blood pressure.
Well, I was so happy. That room was so full of love. Everybody that in the world that I loved was there. And it doesn't get any better than that. And that room was totally full of love. Everybody, you know, me, Kenny Rogers, everybody in that room loved us. And there was no doubt about it. And and we were all so happy.
Everybody in this room loves you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
You wrote and recorded the song that we're using as the title song for this edition of Country's Family Reunion. Tell us how it came to be written.
Remember Boyce Hawkins used to be on the Channel 4 here. He's no longer with us. Well, Boyce and I were talking on the phone one day, and we were talking about the Vietnam War that was going on at the time, late 60s. And Boyce said, well, God bless America again. And I took that and ran with it. We wrote a song. The chorus came real easy. On that, I called Boyce back, and I said, listen to this. And so that's how it came about. And I put a little recitation in it, and I think a lot of people recorded it after I did. Conway and Loretta, they did it. it was one of the last things that Ray Charles recorded before he died. And Tex Ritter did it. I think Tex Ritter did it first. And they used it in the John Candy's last movie, Canadian Bacon. The first 10 minutes of that movie was that Tex singing that song in that Tex Ritter fashion. So, yeah, and I got a letter from Irving Berlin's attorney to cease and desist. And it's true. I wrote him back, and I wrote him back and said, "You're probably going to love my next record. It's called I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas Again." And I never heard another word from anybody. They probably figured that crazy hillbilly down there in Nashville, I don't want to mess with him.
You said the song came out during the Vietnam War. We were kind of divided in this country, a lot of people on one side and a lot of people on the other. Do you think your song maybe had a healing effect, or did it polarize people?
Well, I would like to believe it ended the Vietnam War, but I doubt that. I really don't know. I think probably the people that thought the way I did, they all loved it, and the people who didn't hated it. But
Never heard
it's
anybody
what I
hate it.
believe.
The people who didn't like it just.
Well, how about starting us off musically by singing God Bless America again, our newest Hall of Fame member.
Which microphone do I use? This one? There you go, boys. God bless America again. You see all the trouble that she's in. Wash her pretty face, dry her eyes, and then God bless America again. Yes, God bless America again. Bless her like you did way back when it started. You blessed her then, we kind of took for granted. We didn't ask again. So hold her hand now, that's all. In case she stumbles, don't let her fall. God bless America again. You see all the trouble that she's in. Wash her pretty face, dry her eyes, and then God bless America again. You know, I don't understand when they say what's wrong with America. When you don't have a lot of book learning, there's many things you don't understand. But I know this much. She's like a mother to me, and I love her with all my heart. Everything I am or ever hope to be, I owe to her. Yes, God bless America again. You see all the trouble that she's in. Wash her pretty face, dry her eyes, and then God bless America again. bless, God bless America again.
Great job, Bob. That's terrific, man. Thank you. Do you feel like the song is just as relevant today, or even more so than it was when you wrote it?
Absolutely, sure. I believe in it.
We take the country's family reunion out sometimes and do road shows, and Jeannie and Jim Ed and Helen Cornelius and I, we close out our show singing God Bless America Again, and usually the audience sings every word with us.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know Jan Howard knows it because she recorded it.
Yeah, I did.
And I close out my show a lot of times with it.
You got to close out with it because you can't follow it with anything.
No way. No way. You got
That's one of them songs that's got to close out the show.
Yeah, it's all over when you do that one.
Well, that's
we're
great. Thanks for
done.
sharing it with us.
I guess we're done.
Yeah, we can all go home now. He's done our closing song.
You know, Bill, it was. I tell people this. It was either Plato, or Socrates, or Bobby Bear, who said, "Take me not to those who write your laws, for they will lie. Take me to those who write your songs, for they will not." Songwriters tell the truth. Politicians, you know how you know when they're lying? Their lips are moving. But songwriters, they tell the truth. And you hit on it, pal, right there.
Thank
God
you.
love you.
Yeah.
That's true.
I see you had your Happy Meal for breakfast this morning, Rory.
I did.
Too much sugar too early. Way too much sugar.
Oh, no, I ate a bunch of peanut butter. I needed some protein. You know, for the medication that I take, I need protein. Don't you laugh at me, man. You want me on it. You want me on that wall.
More medication, please. More medication.
Not only patriotic music, but as we said, some gospel music, some great old hymns and songs that we can all sing along to. Con Hunley, for some reason, I have this vision. Now, you tell me, I may be totally off base, but you're not only a great singer, you're a great piano player. Now, I can picture a young Con Hunley in an old country church somewhere with an upright piano, banging and singing, bringing in the sheaves. Or...
Well, you know, my grandfather was a Church of God preacher, and so that's what I was kind of raised in. And the singing, I can remember going when I was a kid. There's an old church that he and some of the members of the church built, and it was built. The floor joists and everything was built on flat rock, you know. And I can remember going to the church house, and he'd get to preaching, and I was just a kid. And he'd get to preaching, and of course everybody get to shouting and singing and all this stuff, and I could feel the building moving, you know. And it felt like an earthquake, really. But a lot of great singing. It was always kind of hand clapping, foot stomping music, and in fact, I'm going to do one of the songs today that I remember from back then. So it's.
Now, did you ever play piano or organ?
Oh
in the
yeah,
church?
yeah. I played piano. But initially, I wanted to be a thumb style guitar player. I idolized Chet Atkins, and I wanted to be a thumb style guitar player. And then I think when he came out with what was the two songs, Dixie and Yankee Doodle, and I thought, well, maybe it's time for me to give up. When he played them both at the same time, I thought maybe it's time for me to quit right here. So, but then I started kind of learning to play the piano. I heard Ray Charles do a song called "What Did I Say," and the intro on that thing kind of got to me. So I started learning to play the piano. But everything I knew was by ear. But yeah, we would rock the church house, no question about it.
You gonna play piano on this?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna stand up and sing and get Nora Lee and all of them to sing. This is a great old song. It's called "Didn't It Rain, Children?" Yes. Jimmy. Where did it rain, children? Talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain, oh my Lord, now didn't it rain? Well, it rained 40 days and it rained 40 nights. There was no land nowhere in sight. God sent a raven to carry the news. He spread his wings and away he flew. To the east, to the west, to the north, to the south, all day, all night. Oh, children, didn't it rain? Well, didn't it rain? Children, talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain, oh my Lord? Now didn't it rain? Well, it rained 40 days, 40 nights without stopping. Noah's glad when the rain stopped dropping. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my shoes, walk around heaven and tell the news. Hard rain in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, all day, all night. Oh, children, didn't it rain? Didn't it rain? Children, talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain? Oh my Lord, now didn't it rain? Well, they knocked at the window and they knocked at the door. They cried, oh no, please take on more. Noah cried out, you're the fool of sin. My God's got the key, now you can't get in. Now listen to it rain in the east, in the west, in the north, in the south, all day, all night. Oh, children, didn't it rain? Well, didn't it rain? Children, talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain? Oh my Lord, now didn't it rain? Well, didn't it rain? Children, talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Didn't it rain? Oh my Lord, now didn't it rain? Well, didn't it rain? Children, talk about the rain, oh my Lord. Well, didn't it rain, oh my Lord, now didn't it Well, it rained 40 days, 40 nights without stopping. Said no more glad when the rain stopped and dropping. When I get to heaven, gonna put on my shoes and walk around here and then tell the news. Yeah, listen to it rain. Listen to it rain. Well, they knock at the window and they knock at the door. They cry, no, no, please take on more. No, cried out to the late to hide. My God's got the key, now you left outside. Listen to it rain. Listen to it rain. Listen to it rain. Oh, listen to it rain, 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 rain. Listen to it rain.
Somebody pass the offering plate.
Oh, Lord. See if I help me remember the song. Atta
Boy, that'll put you right in the spirit.
I can see that little old church rocking on its foundation. Woo!
I bet they wouldn't let you sing that at Opryland about 3 years ago.
Probably not. Not when all the rain was coming down.
It rained a little too much. Man, that's great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I was just having this vision when he was talking about Ray Charles and hearing what I say. So see the girl with the red dress on. Look who's sitting right in front of her. Another show, maybe.
Yes. It was planned that way.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah. What are y'all talking about back there, Sharon and
We're
Buck
talking
and Cheryl,
behind
the
your back,
Whites?
Bill.
Yes, you are talking
Sorry.
behind my back.
Sorry. If I'd have been sitting over there, I wouldn't have been.
The Whites were with us a few days ago. We did a tribute family reunion show to bluegrass music. You guys fit in anywhere you go, country, gospel, bluegrass. I mean, you even do some western swing, and Buck turns loose on that piano.
Can't help where you're from.
Were you influenced by all those,
Played dances
those
all the time.
different kinds? Dance to it all.
All through the late 40s and 50s, I played dance bands, Western dance bands.
Yeah, yeah. But then the other day on the bluegrass show, you just played the mandolin, and
Yeah.
it was a whole different
Our
type
earliest
thing.
memories of Daddy were,
Well, listen.
were him playing the piano in, well, actually, the first real memories I have of him playing in a band, he was in a rock, kind of a rock and roll, rockabilly band. And because that was
Call
what
the
was,
volcanoes.
they were
Yellow
so hot, y'all.
tuxedos.
The volcanoes.
Yellow
were so
tuxedos with
Yeah.
black lapels.
They were very hot, really. And Daddy did the whole, hot piano player thing where he takes a solo and lay down on his back and play with his feet up in the air.
Doing a bicycle.
He was a
The Jerry
forerunner
Lee.
to Jerry
Yes,
Lee
he was.
Lewis.
Well,
Jerry Lee stole
contemporary
everything
prop,
from
yeah.
you.
That's
Dad.
better than
Problem.
screwing them pipes together.
But at
Yeah.
home, he played bluegrass. He fell in love with the mandolin when he was in high school, and fell in love with Bill Monroe and all the bluegrass pickers, and we heard a lot of that around the house. And then him and Mama sang together, and it's like they were saying the other day, there was not a lot of distinction between the different musics. If you heard a good old country station, you heard it all. You could hear the bluegrass and you could hear the gospel songs, and you go
Everybody
see
did
a country show, and those people sang gospel songs on their show and recorded them, and so there was like not a distinction, and Dad just taught us to love the good music, and so we've been really fortunate that we've been able to fit in a lot of places.
Now, Nashville never did always come in to Wichita Falls. Couldn't, it was too far away for the radio we had. But XERF came in like it was next door.
From Del Rio, Texas. Yeah.
And they played everything down there. They had great shows.
A lot of folks from here went out there and played, And
Did you ever order some baby chicks from them?
didn't have no money.
When the Whites go out and do a concert, with all that vast background, do you do country songs and then put in some gospel songs? Do you just mix it all
We
up?
mix it all up. And mostly today what we do is go out acoustically, like you're going to hear us on this song.
But we
then
include the piano.
Yeah, Dad will play piano too. Even at bluegrass festivals, they'll furnish a piano because they got to know that he did that.
But if they book us to do a country show, a lot of times she'll take the acoustic bass and he'll take the mandolin, and we'll do part of the show that way too. So
Yeah.
we like to do it all. I mean, when we first came to town, we were just trying to get a record deal. We
Just trying to make a living playing music so Daddy wouldn't have to plumb no more.
We did a demo thing, and took it around, and they'd say, "Well, you're too bluegrass." Well, then we tried to do country. They say, "Well, you're too," or they'd say, "You're too bluegrass," and then they'd say, "You're too country." When we tried to do bluegrass, we were too country. We tried to do. I'm trying to get
Should've named our
straight.
band
Which you have a song that
Yes.
says exactly how we felt.
Oh, we felt right at home.
How does that happen? Too country in Nashville.
Too country, too bluegrass. What's that?
Well, you're too good is what you are. How about a song, a gospel song from Buck and Sharon and Cheryl the Whites? A little different style song than the one that Con did, but the gospel music umbrella is a big one. I mean, there's a lot of different types.
I'll bet with Buck playing piano and everything and so much of the German influence down in Texas, I'll bet they could fit in with a polka group, couldn't you? I bet you can play polka and schottisch and that kind of
Well,
stuff.
the Schottish, they did that
Yeah.
in Texas.
Sure.
And the song we're going to sing, I think that's supposed to be over that way a little bit.
Thank you, Bill.
Yesterday.
She's using Tater's microphone.
Let Daddy through, sister. Step up.
This thing's always in the way. His name is Ed. And he lost an ear the other day, so in case he needed tuning, I have it in my pocket till I can get him fixed.
What'd you start to say about the song?
It's, you know, we grew up singing in churches, and we heard so many gospel songs and sung, you know, like a lot of people here, we know verses and choruses of just about everything. But we had never added this song to our set, and we still don't do it very often, but we learned it a few years ago. They honored, the Academy of Country Music honored our manager, John Doris, who's been with us for 30 years and one of the finest men in Nashville. And he wanted us, and he didn't care what we did. And Sharon said we could do he had found out his mama's favorite song maybe just a month before she went to heaven. He had never known it was this song here. And so he always had a special thing in his heart for this song after that. So we wanted to do that for John that night. And so it felt like the right thing to do today. It's a great, great song.
I think the message of it fits today.
Yes. This world is not my home.
This world is not my home, I'm just passing through. My treasures are laid up somewhere beyond the blue. The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. You can help us if you want to. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I have a loving mother just over in glory land. I don't expect to stop until I take her hand. She's waiting there for me at heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. That's true too. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I like this verse. If you get there before me, I'll be there just the same. You'll hear me when I shout, oh glory to his name. I'll fly away with him, my Savior I adore, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. That's shouting it. Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, then Lord, what will I do? The angels beckon me from heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. No, I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
Okay, question about that song. I have seen that song on record and like
Yes.
Oh,
print
yeah, I know
music.
what you're gonna say.
Sometimes it's called This World Is Not My Home. Other times it's called I Can't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. What's the real title, or does it matter?
I don't really know. I've seen
When
it
we
both
looked it
ways,
up on the
too.
internet, it come up, this world is not my home. So I don't know. Do you trust everything on there? I don't know.
No. It's on the internet, it's got to be real.
Had the
First
same
record.
words, though, yeah.
First record I ever heard of that song was by somebody you would never think would sing or record that song, Hank Thompson.
Wow.
Really?
The great Hank Thompson had a wonderful record of that song back many, many years ago.
You know, in reality, this world is not our home.
Amen, brother.
I mean, that's what you said. Songwriters tell the truth.
They tell the truth.
We are passing through.
Yeah.
And
Short time.
you know, we're blessed to be on this earth and serving and living and all the blessings that God gives us, but it's just a blink in reality to what's real. This is a dress rehearsal for the real deal. I believe there's going to be a whole lot more of this too.
The longer we live and the more people that we see go on to heaven, that song means more to me now because that's where my mama is.
It's sweet.
And there's a lot of people in this room that feel that way about things.
Amen.
So,
Bill, when Steve and Rudy and I were just little boys, well, Rudy might not even been born because I was only 4 or 5, and our grandpa had a friend in Alny, Texas. They lived in Alny, Texas, an old black gentleman. You know, back when whites and blacks didn't, get together very much, and our pop was one of his best friends, was an old black gentleman, and when they had the funeral for this fella, Papa took me to the funeral because he took me everywhere. And that preacher got up there that day, and you know how the black preachers can break the word of God. He said, "Weep only for this boy in this box if you think he's better off in Alny, Texas than he is in heaven." I'll never forget it. It's the truth. That's a God's truth.
That is the truth.
I noticed Mark Wills is with us for the first time. Mark, we're glad to have you here, buddy. Glad you could join us. But you were sitting there singing every word of that song.
Grew up
Now,
in church.
how did you know that song?
Grew up in church. I mean, my mom and dad, I grew up in the Church of Christ, so we didn't have any musical instruments. We sang everything a cappella.
Your voice was your instrument.
Yeah, exactly. Your voice was your instrument. But man, I love gospel music, and I grew up listening to it. I mean, I had, truth be told, I probably have a hymnal that was taken from somewhere in my house that I still love to go back and pull up, just flip through and sing old songs that I hadn't sang in forever. Because in today's country music, we don't get to go out on stage very much and sing gospel music. Our shows revolve around the hits that we've had on the radio, and that's what they want. And so that's what you do. But you can't ever get away from the music that you grew up loving and that you grew up singing.
Well, you have in a couple of your songs, you even had a song early in your career called Jacob's Ladder, which is...
It was the very first single.
Yeah.
A lot of my songs, a lot of my music that I've released has, goes back and it tells stories. I mean, Don't Laugh at Me. Yeah. Wish You Were Here, which you wrote. Jacob's Ladder. I've always believed that the music should tell a story. I don't believe in brainless songs. Good. Never have. And I believe that people that they fall in love with the music, and if they fall in love with the music, they'll continue to follow your career, and that's what I've tried to do. I've tried to make a career out of giving people music that they relate to.
Well, not only music that is gospel tinged or oriented, but you've been doing, I know at the Opry you've been doing this song a lot called Looking for America. Yeah. Which is, explain exactly what you're trying to say in this song.
Looking for America was a tune that a buddy of mine, Bernie Nelson, who's a songwriter here in town, him, a buddy of his, Phil, and Jeremy Bussey, they wrote this song, and he called me one day and he said, "Man, I've just wrote this song that you need to record." And I said, "Okay." And that was it. A few months went by and never heard the song, and he sent it to me and he said, "Man, I really think you need to record this song." And I said, "Okay." And I never heard the song. So this went on for like 6 or 8 months, right? So he calls me again and he goes, "Mark, I got this song and you really need to record it." And I said, "Well, I will if you'll send it to me." And he sent me Looking for America, and I love the message of it. We were talking about in the intro how our world, our country is divided. I grew up in a little town called Blue Ridge, Georgia, where you didn't worry about your kids playing in the yard. You didn't worry that somebody was going to come and take them and do something to them. I grew up in a world where it was okay to talk about your faith. That's right. I grew up, it was okay to say God. It was okay to talk about your Lord and Savior. Mm-hmm. And it seems like we're getting further away from that. And it scares me for my kids, because I know how, when I was in school, if I did something wrong, you went to the principal's office and he pulled out that paddle and wore your tail out. And then when you got home, exactly. Yeah. And it's, I just see our world going in a different direction, and it scares me. And when I heard Looking for America, I just love the message of the song. I believed in the message of the song, and once again, I just felt like it was one of those songs that I could bring to the people that if they had followed my career and they knew how I felt about music and they knew what I wanted to say with my music, that they would accept it.
Well, share it with us.
I will.
All right.
Mark Wills.
Don't forget our store down below where you can get Country's Family Reunion and Larry's Country Diner product.
I'm chasing down a memory of the way things used to be. Kids playing underneath an old street light, knowing they were safe when they lay down at night. I'm looking for something I ain't seen in a while. I'm looking for a factory where a man can feed his family, not worried about them moving it south, closing the doors and shutting it down tomorrow. I'm looking for America, the land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still out there. Somebody please tell me where. I'm looking for America. I'm searching for an old church steeple where inside you'll find people who live their lives unashamed, and they ain't afraid to say God's name out loud. I'm looking for America, land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still out there. Somebody please tell me where. I'm looking for I'm out here looking for the truth. A few folks to wave the red, white, and blue. Still believe freedom isn't free, and I guess it's up to you and me to find it. We gotta find it, 'cause we're looking for land of the free and the home of the brave. Seems like I just woke up one day and it was gone, long gone. But I know in my heart it's still out there. Can somebody please tell me where? I'm looking for, where I'm looking for. Yeah, we're looking for America.
What a great song. Mark, if you ever learn to sing, you gonna amount to something. Man,
I've been faking it for 20 years. I don't know that I
well,
want
you
to.
fake it well, man. If that was faking it, that's terrific.
I think we should take him into Congress and have him sing it and say, now what did y'all do with America?
Yeah, amen.
I'll go if you take me.
Let's go.
Hey, Bill, first time I ever heard Mark was in, I believe it was Marietta, Georgia, wasn't it?
Buckboard.
I was playing down there at a little place called the Buckboard. And John,
First
that
show I
ran the
ever
place,
opened was for him.
John was always coming up with somebody that was a pretty good singer and all that, and he wanted me, I always wanted me, he said, you got to hear this boy open, you know. And he told me, he said, I got this guy that's opening the show tonight, and he said, I want you to listen to him and give me your opinion. There he is. I said, you ain't got to worry about that boy, just get him in front of somebody. I said, he can handle it. Mark Wills.
Actually, I don't know if y'all know it. Your real last name is Williams.
It is.
So did you
It is.
figure, well, there's too many Williams have already been in country music and you've shortened it? or
Well, I
what?
figured there was a few of them that set a bad example, so I was going to change it a little bit. Well, no, you know.
Yeah, that
it
Don
was-
Williams, he's a troublemaker.
You know, I was talked to by some friends before, you know, before I started out, and I come along, you know, in the mid '90s when, you know, Doug Stone had changed his name because his last name is Brooks because of Garth and stuff like that, and I was just told, you know, there's been a lot of big names in the country music industry, and you might fall under one of those. You might fall under the whole Hank Williams thing. So you should probably change your name or do something. I didn't really want to change my name, so I just dropped the IAM out of it and became Wills. And then as soon as I started my radio tour, I started it in Kansas City and Texas, and everywhere that I went, the first question out of everybody's name, out of everybody's mouth was, you any kin to Bob Wills? And at that point, you know, I was like, no kin to Bob, and that's the name of my company. The name of my company, my touring company, is No Kin to Bob Incorporated. So people start writing, you know, when they're making out the check, they're like, this is an Indian name. What does it mean? And I say no kin to Bob, and they go, who's Bob? I mean, I've had people, who's Bob? And then you just look at them and go, you wouldn't understand. Never mind.
Never mind.
Hey, how many of y'all know Gary Mule Deer? You know, great comedian, everybody knows. Well, he's one of the funniest men in the world. He would go out, the first thing he says on his show says, hi, y'all, glad to be here. My name's Gary Mule Deer. Of course, that ain't my real name. Real name's Frank Mule Deer.
Sitting over there behind you, Mark, is a couple. They're both back there grinning from ear to ear. They are having all kinds of success. Those of you that watch the RFD network, and most people do, know that they have their own show on there now. But Joey, especially you look a little happier than usual. You want to break the news and share the secret?
Well, we have a lot of reasons to be happy, but Rory and I are having a baby in February, so we are along the way. So
I prefer to announce it this way. Hey, everybody, guess what I did?
He's such a boy. Man, I tell you.
Hey, her daddy's here. I'd be careful if I was you.
Do you know yet, boy, girl?
We
Do you
don't
wanna
know what we're having. No, we won't find out until it gets here. So,
That's
but if
good.
you ask Rory, it's a boy.
Never
I
count your
know,
chickens before
but
that.
we don't know.
Dear God, let that child look like his mama.
That's what I say.
Don't let him come out wearing overalls.
There's nothing wrong with them overalls. I love overalls.
I tease Rory
My
about it.
daddy, that was his dress. He wore overalls all the time and a white starched shirt. And he'd go see the governor, he'd see the president. But he'd also go to the woods and work in it. So I love overalls.
Well, that's Rory's favorite attire. If he could wear a white starched shirt every day for the rest of his life, he'd be a happy man.
Yeah, I started the day saying, can I wear a white shirt? She said no.
Well, you're on television.
Yeah, that's true. She's smarter than
Well,
me.
the overalls are a trademark.
Larry didn't get that memo.
Larry didn't get that
Larry
memo.
didn't get that memo about the white shirt on TV.
He missed the memo.
Anybody else here wearing a white shirt?
Bill.
I guess it worked.
Bill.
Just me and you, Larry.
No, Jamie's
Oh, that's
got
right,
one.
Jamie. Jamie's got one on.
Daly over there.
No, I want to ask Rory, how did the overalls become such a trademark?
Well, you know, I was a songwriter, for years and years. And so maybe about 15 years ago, I'm from Kansas, and so I just started wearing overalls every once in a while, and then it became 3 days a week, and then 7 days a week, and then it was sort of like Forrest Gump said, it's like one less thing. You don't have to think about it anymore, you just wear the same thing all the time. And I didn't realize until we started singing together and traveling around that it became something that people remembered really easy, and most of the time it's been a good thing. Sometimes, it's strange because people, they think that sometimes it emotes a part of country music that they're trying to get rid of, and when I go to the Opry, like the stages were filled with people in overalls, and when I travel the country, there's farmer, like it's part of America, and I've just enjoyed it so much, and my wife thinks I look okay, so that's all that matters.
Joy, is the restaurant Marcy Joe's meeting house still going to stay open when you have the baby and all?
Oh, yeah. Marcy's down there today working it. I've been there on the weekends when we're taking a little bit of time off the road, and I'm sure as the baby comes, we're going to be home a little bit more, too.
Any of you guys ever been down there and eaten? Because if you haven't, I'll sneak in a commercial. You need to go. I mean, that is good country.
Well, when you get there, you won't think that you need to be there, though. It don't look that good.
It don't.
From the outside.
Hey, what's Fried Chicken Day?
Fried Chicken's Day is Wednesday.
Wednesday. I was there on Wednesday. And Martha White biscuits, of course.
Yeah.
She'll sneak in that plug every time.
She will.
She can't help it.
She will.
How about a song from Joey and Rory? What did you say?
Joey and Rory and the little other.
Yeah. Hello, how are y'all?
Ooh, she is showing, isn't she?
I am showing, yes.
See, yes, sir.
Actually, you want this one.
February's not too far off.
It's just right there.
Rory, what happened to the sign that used to be on your guitar that said, "We love country music"? And one time it said, "We miss country music."
Well, I have a couple different guitars, and that one mostly rubbed off, and nobody could read what it said anymore, so I have to redo it. Are you ready, love?
I'm ready. We're going to sing a classic old hymn that I grew up singing. Actually, I grew up listening to my mom sing, and we got to record an inspirational album, and this is one of the hymns from it, and one of my favorite. My dad would play, my mom would sing, and I'd just sit there and listen. I come to the garden alone while the dew is still on the roses, and the voice I hear falling on my ear, the Son of God discloses, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, and He tells me I am His own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. He speaks, and the sound of His voice is so sweet. The birds hush their singing, and the melody that He gave to me within my heart is ringing, and He walks with me, and He talks with me, He tells me I am his own, and the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known. And the joy we share as we tarry there, none other has ever known.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Joey and Rory. That's going to be a lucky little baby. These
I
are
think we're
wonderful
going to
people.
be lucky little parents.
Good job, man.
So good.
Good to see you, brother.
Everybody in here
Thank you.
almost singing along. Songs that everybody knows. Gene Shepard, I went in the Ernest Tubb record shop the other day, and I was hanging around just looking to see what was new and one thing and another. And I asked the lady there, I said, what's the biggest selling thing at the Ernest Tubb record shop? Because they sell records and books and videos and all kinds of different things. She said, well, if we had it, the biggest selling item would be Gene Shepard's book. She said, do you know when it's coming out? I said, no, but I get emails every day almost from people wanting to know where they can buy your book.
They can't yet.
That's what
But
they're
here
figuring
in
out.
about 2 or 3 weeks or so, we got somebody working on it. It's took 15 years to get this far.
Must be a big book.
Quiet in the background.
One time here on this show, you started saying, and I think the reason everybody's so interested in it is I think they're
Want to know what I got to say?
Yeah, you've kind of teased
I
them a
still
little
want to
bit.
know what she's got to say.
No, you don't.
I'm worried about it.
She's so shy and hesitant about speaking her mind.
Yeah, I think she just added Lee Greenwood.
Do what? What? What did you say?
I said, I think you just added a chapter on Lee Greenwood.
What is the actual title of the book?
Down Through the Years. And boy, have I got some stories.
And it will be out shortly.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
still
yeah.
coming out.
Yeah. The people are here today to put the finishing touches to it.
Great.
We've got a bunch of pictures. I got some great stories about Porter Wagner and Mel Tillis.
Should the rest of us run for cover?
Yeah.
Well, they're sure looking forward to it at the stores where they sell books about country music. And
Are you putting that there for me? I don't need it. Thank you.
No rocking chair either.
Speaking her mind.
I appreciate it, darling.
I'm
I'm not helpless.
You know, the first time that my family and I got a chance to go to the Grand Ole Opry, you were there that night.
Really? One of the
And-
nights I was there.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
And among the acts, you know, of course, as we grew up playing bluegrass, Lester Flatt and the Nashville Grass was there. And anyway, remember, and you'd keep your time. And I asked my dad, I said, what's she doing that for? I said, keep the band in time.
I give other signals too.
That's in chapter 1.
Chapter 2.
Yes,
that remark just sold you another 100,000 books.
As I was making my way through traffic to get here this morning, somebody shot me a half a peace sign.
Well, I was taking we raised a grandson. I was taking him to school one day, and most places where you live, you know, you can turn right after you make after you stop, you can make a right turn. Well, this little town where I used to live have that. You know, just went up there and you might have you had to fully stop before you made your turn. Well, I was running late. I just whizzed around that stop sign. And I said, oh, Lord, I just run a stop sign. My grandson said, don't worry about it, Granny. That cop behind you just done the same thing. I said, has you got them blue lights going? He said, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope, yep, nope. that cop come up to me and says, well, lady, I've been waiting on you all morning. I said, well, sir, I got here as fast as I could. He said, let me see your driver's license. I said, y'all took them away from me 3 months ago. Now you want to see them again. I wish you'd make up your mind. But he was nice. When he left, he gave me the peace sign. He got 3 blocks down the road, and I gave him half of it back. Gotcha.
So bad.
You just sold a book, girl. I can't.
Talk a little bit about this song you're going to sing, because it's a
Nobody
song.
knows much about it, really.
What a great song.
It's a great song, a great song. And 3 people recorded it. Connie Smith, Tammy Wynette, and myself. Tammy had the best record by far. Larry Butler just throwed it at me and said, let's do this. We only had about 30 minutes. And I just really messed it up. But I love this song.
Didn't Jerry Chestnut write it?
Yes. What a great writer.
It's a wonderful song. And like you say, you don't hear a lot of people doing it, but it's really got a great message.
I got the words to it. You're not the only one. But I just think it's such a great song. It tells what the Lord does for you and what he sees and what he does.
Share it with us.
Okay. All right, everybody, attention. Are you ready? Go.
Oh Lord, you know that I'm not one to bother you with little things, and you and I have never been too close. But we've always been on speaking terms. I've watched your way of doing things and tried to understand you more than most. No, I haven't gone to church the way I ought to, but I always thought you knew in my own way I worshiped you. While even your own children doubt and try to understand the simple way you go about the things you do. I seen the doubt upon the face of loved ones as they sadly placed a wreath of flowers on a tiny grave, and wondered why a child is brought into the world to only live a little while and die you could have saved. But I believe that in your eyes this little child was something special. You wanted it to be with you, no doubt. So with outstretched arms you beckoned. It was so simple that I reckon they can understand the way you worked it out. I saw a young man growing till he reached the age of knowing. Then I watched as something happened to his mind. No doctors could correct it. It was just as I suspected. And I marveled at your way of being kind. They tried everything in vain, and I was there when they explained it to the family, how he slipped into a trance. I guess you looked into his future, watched him turn his back upon you, loving him so much you wouldn't take that chance. It took a lot of love to die for sinners such as I, and I guess that's why you've never given up on me. You understood when some denied you, and even when they crucified you, knowing all these things were meant to be. A stable, such a simple way, no wonder there were few who came to see a king the night that you were born.
I ask one favor, if I can, help me to better understand the mysteries of the wonders you perform. The mysteries of the wonders you perform.
That's called The Wonders You Perform. And there's a wonder right there. I love you, Gene Shepard. We're going to take a short break.